So now we're going to get onto the floor into Pilates relaxation position. So if you can just lie down on your back with your knees bent and your feet and knees roughly about hip width apart. Think of the alignment as the middle of the hip, down to the middle of the knee, down to the second toe. And then we want to release any tension in the body. So think of any tension in the facial muscles or the jaw, around the neck and shoulders. Let the abdomen feel heavy and released, and let the pelvis and legs release any tension there. And then think about body contact with the floor, the body weights, the gap between your head and the floor, let it feel heavy. Your shoulder blades, pelvis, elbows and hands on the floor feeling heavy and released, as well as the feet. And you may want to place a small head cushion behind the head so that the spine here, the cervical vertebra, retains its natural curves. We want the head to be in a neutral position, neither jammed in nor thrown back. We want to retain the natural curves here of the cervical vertebra. We also want to retain the natural curves of the lumbar spine. The spine should retain its natural curves throughout. It's what we call the neutral position of the spine. It's our natural everyday position that we walk around in. So here's the neutral position of the pelvis. We have the natural lumbar curve, and you'll notice here that the anterior superior iliac spine is level with the pubic symphysis bone. In the north position, the lumbar spine is lengthened and you have a posterior pelvic tilt. The pubic symphysis is higher than the anterior superior iliac spine. The back is pressed towards the floor. You notice the pressure at the front of the disc increases and at the back of the disc it decreases. Conversely, when the pelvis is tilted to a south position, you get an exaggerated lumbar curve here, and you'll notice the ASIS is higher than the pubic symphysis. And again, the pressure at the back of the disc here is increased and at the front of the disc it's decreased. So in our neutral position, where these two bones are at the same height, the pressure in the disc is even throughout and therefore minimized. So it's a very safe position for the back. We use the core abdominal muscles to stabilize us in this natural neutral position. However, Joseph Pilates didn't actually teach in a neutral position. He taught in a slightly imprinted position, which Jess will now explain.
The imprint method is actually completely different from the neutral, which is the modern Pilates. Reason why he taught the imprint was because people in those days were actually a lot leaner, stronger, a lot more upright, and didn't have very many sedentary jobs. However, today our lifestyle involves a lot of sitting postures, where we're sitting in cars, desks, by computers, and that's why the modern Pilates is actually a lot more neutral. As always with anything, there are different schools of thought. The imprint way is the traditional way. This is how Joseph Pilates taught, and we've already mentioned briefly. The neutral way is the modern Pilates, which is just a different way of looking at Pilates. So either way is neither right or wrong.
The imprinted position is where the lordotic curve is lengthened towards flexion of the lumbar spine. The pubic symphysis is higher than the ASIS, producing a posterior pelvic tilt. However, this position is easy to get wrong. If you exaggerate it so much, the tailbone comes off the floor and the abdominals start to bulge upwards. So we want the tailbone to remain in contact with the floor with the abdominals flattened down towards the spine. It's a much more subtle position. So Joseph Pilates' original teachings were in a slightly imprinted position. And you can see in this position, the lower back is opened out and stretched, which is a good thing for back problems or people who have tight lower backs. At the front, the opposite is happening. The abdominals are being shortened, which is fine. It actually works the abdominals a lot stronger when you do work in imprint. However, nowadays, we tend to work in a more neutral position because of our modern living, we do a lot of sitting around. We're actually less active than we used to be. And so there can be a lot of slouched postures. So what we now try to do is work in a more neutral position because it's more functional. That's how our bodies should be. And here, the back and the front are actually balanced out.